Good morning, America. A setback for President Trump's tariffs, shark sightings ahead of summer, and the Thunder storm into the NBA Finals. Blocked. A panel of judges rules that most of President Trump's tariffs are illegal, saying he overstepped his authority by imposing them on China, Mexico, Canada, and other trading partners. The reaction from the White House and the financial markets. What comes next?
Elon Musk out at the White House, the billionaire stepping away from his role overnight, hours after breaking with President Trump over his massive spending bill, arguing it would undo his efforts with DOGE to shrink the federal government.
Reality stars Todd and Julie Chrisley released from prison, receiving full pardon from President Trump after serving part of their sentences for tax evasion and bank fraud.
New questions after an airport security incident. A man caught on camera attacking TSA agents a day after he allegedly assaulted a passenger mid-flight.
Dramatic new testimony in the Sean Diddy Combs trial. Cassie Ventura's stylist tells the jury he witnessed Combs beating her, threatened to release sex tapes, as the jury saw pictures of the arson attack on Kid Cudi's Porsche.
Sharks in the shallows, where tourists spotted a massive 20-foot shark. Another one swimming just feet from a woman, and what to do if you see one up close.
And the superstorm heading into the NBA Finals.
SBA inside, counted out, a foul.
The OKC Thunder, now the best in the West, waiting for the winner of the Knicks and Pacers. And this queen shining, honored with a special key. Abbott Elementary's Quinta Brunson returning to the school where it all started. We were there with her, and why she says a tough day will come in handy.
Live from Times Square, it's Thursday. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. We're looking forward to hearing from the very talented Quinta Brunson after her honor in Philly. What a big honor it is from the city of brotherly love. Plus, we have big news for ABBA fans. ABBA fans coming up in pop news. ABBA, yabba dabba do.
We also have breaking news for flyers. Two airlines have announced a new partnership. We're going to tell you what it means for passengers.
Plus, the new report about the so-called salt bombs in your diet. Dr. Deborra-Lee breaks down the foods at the top of that list.
We're going to begin, though, with President Trump's trade war. A federal court has blocked his tariffs on China and other countries, ruling that the president had overstepped his authority under the law. Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce starts us off. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, George. And this is a massive blow to the president's trade war. For months, Trump has argued that the world is ripping America off, defiant in his executive authority to impose these staggering tariffs. But now a federal panel says the president is overstepping his authority and that his tariffs are illegal. Overnight, a staggering setback for President Trump's aggressive trade agenda. A panel of judges on the U.S. Court of International Trade blocking most of Trump's sweeping tariffs on China and other trading partners, determining that they are contrary to law. The move effectively bringing Trump's trade war to a screeching halt. In April, the president declared a national emergency to impose his so-called reciprocal tariffs on goods from every country that trades with the U.S. without seeking approval from Congress.
My fellow Americans, this is Liberation Day.
As markets roiled, Trump defiant.
I know what the hell I'm doing.
But overnight, the federal panel ruling that the law does not authorize the president to use emergency powers to issue tariffs, and that his executive orders exceed any authority granted to the president. The judges, appointed by Presidents Reagan, Obama, and Trump, also blocking tariffs Trump imposed on China, Mexico, and Canada to combat fentanyl trafficking, because they do not deal with the threats described in the president's order. The Trump administration overnight quick to appeal, the White House rebuking the court, saying it is not for unelected judges to decide how to properly address a national emergency, adding the administration is committed to using every lever of executive power to address this crisis and restore American greatness. For weeks, the president's on-again, off-again tariffs have caused whiplash on Wall Street, sparking major sell-offs when he issues new threats and rallies when he pulls them back. In the Oval Office yesterday, Trump lashing out when a reporter asked about a new term for his turnarounds.
Mr. President, Wall Street analysts have coined a new term called the taco trade. They're saying Trump always chickens out on your tariff threats, and that's why markets are higher this week. What's your response to that?
I kick out
chicken out.
Oh, isn't that nice? Chicken out. I've never heard that. 6 months ago, this country was stone cold dead. We had a dead country. We had a country people didn't think it was going to survive, and you ask a nasty question like that. It's called negotiation.
The court has now given the administration 10 days to halt these tariffs, and the Justice Department is now appealing, setting up a legal fight that could soon reach the Supreme Court. George.
And Mary, the Washington Post is reporting that this Qatari plane deal, which the Defense Department had said had been finalized, actually hasn't gone through.
Yeah, despite those claims from the Defense Department, the Washington Post is now reporting that the U.S. and Qatar have not actually finalized a deal for the transfer of that $400 million luxury jet that Trump plans to use as the new Air Force One before being transferred to his presidential library. Now, according to the Post, Qatar still wants to clarify the terms of this deal, including making it clear that the transfer of this jet was initiated by the Trump administration. None of this, though, is expected to derail this deal. The plane's already in the U.S., but it is sure to continue and to spark those legal concerns about this transfer, George.
It's all about those legal challenges which have been brewing. Okay, Mary, thanks very much. Michael?
All right, thank you, George. Now to President Trump's pardon of reality TV stars Todd and Julie Chrisley. They're both free this morning. Our chief Washington correspondent, John Carl, has the story. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Michael. The Chrisleys are not alone. Donald Trump is using his pardon power early and often. And, Michael, there is a clear trend. Many of his pardons are going to his supporters and his political allies.
This morning, reality TV stars Todd and Julie Chrisley are back at home. Their federal convictions for tax evasion and bank fraud nullified by President Trump's pardon. Overnight, their daughter Savannah posted these videos to social media. Todd can be heard joking in the background.
I didn't have to deal with this in prison.
The couple served just over 2 years behind bars. Todd was sentenced to 12 years, Julie 7. Trump broke the news of the pardon to their daughter earlier this week.
It's a great thing because your parents are going to be free and clean.
For nearly a decade, the couple portrayed themselves as glamorous, self-made real estate tycoons on the hit show Chrisley Knows Best.
I'm going to put my pajamas on because I have had a day from hell, and it better not get any hotter in this house when I speak to y'all.
But federal prosecutors said their life was built on a lie, calling them career swindlers who have made a living by jumping from one fraud scheme to another, as they defrauded banks of more than $30 million, stiffing vendors and dodging taxes, using the money on luxury cars, homes, and designer clothes. Their daughter lobbied for their pardon, speaking at the Republican National Convention, saying her parents were targeted because of their political views.
Due to our public profile and conservative beliefs, they accused my parents of fraud.
It's the latest in a string of pardons to Trump's political supporters and allies. On Wednesday, Trump pardoned Michael Harris, co-founder of Death Row Records, who served 33 years in prison on drug charges. Harris is a groundbreaking rap music executive who endorsed Trump's 2024 presidential campaign. In his first term, Trump had commuted his sentence. He also pardoned 2 former Republican lawmakers who had been convicted of tax fraud and other federal crimes. On Wednesday, Trump said he is considering pardons for a group of men convicted of plotting to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer in 2020, and suggested they were not guilty.
It looked to me like somewhat of a railroad job, I'll be honest with you.
And of course, Trump's very first pardons, which came just hours after he took the oath of office, were for the nearly 1,600 Trump supporters convicted in connection with the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. Since then, Trump has pardoned or commuted the sentences of more than 60 other people. At least a dozen of them have some sort of political or financial tie to the president. Robin?
All right, John, our thanks to you. Now, Elon Musk, leaving the Trump administration, ending his role as a special government employee. Our senior political correspondent, Rachel Scott, has more for us. Good morning, Rachel.
Hey, Robin, good morning to you. And he was once considered one of the president's most powerful advisors, setting up offices on the White House campus, attending cabinet meetings. But Elon Musk is now leaving the administration and taking a swipe at the president's agenda on the way out.
This morning, Elon Musk is out, stepping away from his role at the Department of Government Efficiency. Overnight, posting online, "I would like to thank President Trump for the opportunity to reduce wasteful spending." For months, Musk has been working to slash agencies as a special government employee, attempting to cut trillions in federal spending, but facing resistance from the public, lawmakers, and members of Trump's cabinet.
And in the last hours of working for the administration, Musk publicly breaking with the president on his massive spending bill, arguing it would undo their own efforts to shrink the federal government.
I was disappointed to see the massive spending bill, frankly, which increases the budget deficit, not just decrease it, and undermines the work that the Doge team is doing.
The president not publicly going after Musk, but arguing the bill couldn't cut too many programs in order to get it through the House.
Well, reactions, a lot of things. Number one, we have to get a lot of votes. We can't be cutting. We need to get a lot of support, and we have a lot of support. We had to get it through the House.
The bill Republicans just pushed through the House, officially called the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, does promise to slash federal spending by $1.5 trillion, with major cuts to Medicaid and food assistance programs. But the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office now estimates it will add $3.8 trillion to the national deficit over the next 10 years. The bill has divided Republican lawmakers, and even the president says it's not perfect.
I'm not happy about certain aspects of it, but I'm thrilled by other aspects of it.
But Republicans back in their own home districts are now forced to defend the bill and other actions taken by the administration.
I am going to do the very best job I can on your behalf.
At a town hall in Nebraska, Republican Congressman Mike Flood admitting he wasn't aware of everything that was in the bill when he voted for it.
This provision was unknown to me when I voted for the bill.
And in Iowa, Republican Congresswoman Ashley Henson booed at a town hall as she touted the bill.
I was also proud to vote for President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill last week. This is a generational investment.
So as for Elon Musk, his role in the government was intended to be limited, but in recent days, he has said he spent too much time focused on politics as his businesses took a hit, George.
Okay, Rachel, thanks very much. We're getting to the latest now on the humanitarian situation in Gaza. More chaos and concerns about widespread hunger as hundreds of people stormed a food aid warehouse. Chief Foreign Correspondent Ian Pannell has the story.
This morning, desperation and death in Gaza. Thousands of people storming a UN food warehouse on Wednesday. Surging inside, seen in this video circulating online. At least 2 killed and several injured in the crush, according to the UN. Israel imposed an almost 3-month blockade of food and medicine. Although limited supplies are now getting in, aid groups say it's way short of what's needed. Nearly 500,000 people in Gaza are now facing catastrophic hunger, according to 17 UN agencies and NGOs. The Palestinian ambassador to the UN speaking at a Security Council meeting, overcome with emotion. American doctor Feroz Sidwa, who's volunteered twice in Gaza, telling ABC News the situation is disastrous.
People stormed a World Food Program warehouse. Well, they did that to feed their children. They're not thieves. They can't bear to watch their kids suffer like this.
Well, Israel denies the situation is as bad as aid groups claim. But President Trump and others calling for an end to the war, and now the U.S. proposing a new ceasefire and hostage release plan. Michael.
All right, Ian, thank you so much. We're going to turn now to new questions after an airport security incident. Newly released surveillance video showed a man attacking TSA officers. It happened just one day after officials say he assaulted a passenger mid-flight. Victor Okendo has the story.
The surveillance video is shocking. Watch the man wearing a light blue T-shirt start swinging at TSA officers at Miami International Airport. It happened in late December of last year. First, he tries punching one officer but can't connect. Another officer then jumps in, bringing the attacker to the floor. The man keeps punching, despite being pinned, hitting that officer at least 3 times. He's held down until a Miami-Dade police officer can arrest him. Authorities saying that was 28-year-old Cameron Dylan McDougal of Toronto, and that was not his only altercation. According to prosecutors, after passing through security, McDougal randomly attacked another passenger without warning and allegedly struck an airport security guard who tried to step in. That's when he doubled back to security and went after the other officers. McDougal was only in Florida in the first place because of another fight. One day earlier, while on a Copa Airlines flight from Panama City to Toronto, authorities say he physically struck another passenger on board and the pilot diverted to Miami.
There's no right to fly. And if you're violent in an airplane, then the airline has a right and a responsibility to make sure that you don't fly on their airplanes.
McDougal pled guilty in federal court to multiple charges. He faces up to 2 years in prison and will be sentenced on Friday. Robin.
All right, Victor, thank you. Going to turn now to breaking news about two of the biggest airlines joining forces. Chief Business Correspondent Rebecca Jarvis is here with those details for us. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, Robin. This is big news. United Airlines and JetBlue have just announced an unusually close partnership. It's not technically a merger, but they're going to start selling each other's seats on each other's flights. The partnership means that you can go to United or JetBlue's website or app and see flights listed for both airlines, then book them right there. The airlines say it won't impact pricing. They will still do that independently. But if you're a member of United and JetBlue's loyalty programs, your benefits will now stretch even further. Passengers, no matter which carrier they're flying, can apply the miles and benefits. That means priority boarding, complimentary access to preferred and extra legroom seats, and same-day standby and switching, plus earning and using miles on both airlines. JetBlue will give United access to 7 slots at JFK Airport beginning as early as 2027. They'll also exchange some flight timings at Newark Airport. And we've seen a lot of consolidation among airlines over the years. While United and JetBlue will technically remain independent, this partnership really deepens the relationship they have with each other and the clout they have in the industry, guys.
Wow. Great deal there for a lot of passengers. We got one over here who's giving, I'm going to.
Will was very happy.
Yeah. I thought you were excited about the NBA playoffs. Oklahoma City Thunder punching their ticket to the finals, but that was not it. That got
I'm
you
going
more
to use my
excited.
United miles to then maybe fly JetBlue to Oklahoma City because
There
the
you go.
Thunder
I love
are in the finals. So Minnesota had the lead 3-0 early in the first quarter. That was it. It was a dismantling by the Oklahoma City Thunder. Final score, 124-94. Their 4th win by 30 or more points in these playoffs. That's the most in a single postseason in NBA history. SGA, the MVP, had 34 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds. He was regular season MVP. Now he adds Western Conference Finals MVP to his trophy case, becoming the first MVP to make the NBA Finals in the same season as winning that award since Steph Curry in 2016. The Thunder are into their first NBA Finals since 2012, but if we're counting their 1979 win as the Seattle Supersonics, then the franchise has 1 title, but otherwise this would be the first championship as the Thunder. Now, who will be their opponent? We may get some clarity tonight. Knicks-Pacers, Game 5 at MSG. Can the Knicks extend the series, or will the Pacers close it out in 5?
We have a chance, Will.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
You got to be in the building rooting as hard as you can.
Oh, I'll be there.
Okay, good.
Back here on GMA, and here we go again. Big news this morning from Mamma Mia fans and the pop superstar that we could see singing. I just want to hear him do that. Mamma Mia 3, that's coming up in Pop News.
First new at 7:30. The manhunt expanding by air and on land for the former Arkansas police chief who escaped from prison. There was a possible sighting as the search for the convicted killer enters its 5th day after he impersonated a corrections officer to walk out of prison. Also, a piece of a glacier broke off in the Swiss Alps, releasing rock, ice, and mud that buried most of a mountain village. Authorities had evacuated the village earlier this month over fears of a rock slide. 1 person is missing.
An Arizona police officer pulled a woman from a car as it explodes in flames after a multi-vehicle crash. He broke the window and managed to pull out the driver, whose hair was on fire. She was taken to the hospital in critical condition, but she is expected to survive. Thank goodness he was there. And it's time to put another trophy on the Woods mantelpiece. This time, though, it's Tiger's son, 16-year-old Charlie Woods, winning his first ever American Junior Golf Association tournament, winning the Team TaylorMade Invitational at the Streamsong Resort Black Course in Florida. The high school junior beat 70 other competitors in only his 5th junior golf tournament. Charlie, he didn't look at the leaderboard all day. So he was just focused on his own game. Congratulations to him. He beat 4 out of 5 top-ranked players in the AJGA. Wow. Yeah, so very impressive win for Charlie Woods.
Congratulations to him. Now to the Sean Diddy Combs trial, and new testimony from a celebrity stylist who says he witnessed Combs assault his ex-girlfriend. Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katursky is at the courthouse. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning to you, George. The jury here has been digesting testimony about beatings, threats, and an arson started by a bottle of Old English and a designer handkerchief.
This morning, newly released images of an arson. The jury seeing components of a Molotov cocktail and the damage it caused to Kid Cudi's Porsche.
think about all my old friends who want my friends all along.
The rapper testified he suspected Sean Combs was behind it after finding out he and Cassie Ventura were dating, something Combs denies. The arson investigators showed the jury photos of the bottle of Old English malt liquor containing gasoline, the designer-type handkerchief he said was used as a wick, and a red disposable lighter. He also told the jury fingerprints taken from Kid Cudi's home had been destroyed. When prosecutors pressed the point, defense attorneys sought a mistrial. They're clearly suggesting that Mr. Combs did something to cause the destruction of these print cards. The judge denied the mistrial. To this day, the arson remains an open case.
The arson of Kid Cudi's car is connected to these charges because we know that RICO relies on the fact that it is an enterprise and that they're taking part in racketeering activities. To show racketeering activities, the prosecution has to prove two underlying predicate crimes that were loosely related in some sort. So if they get a new lead or an additional information, they can actually seek charges in that particular arson. Good morning.
Cassie Ventura's stylist and friend Deontay Nash testified he witnessed Combs beating Ventura until her head hit the edge of the bed frame, drawing blood. He also testified Ventura confided Combs pressured her into unwanted sex with male prostitutes, telling him, "I don't want to go to the hotel and freak off with him." Another time, Nash testified he watched Combs threaten to release sex tapes of her. He was going to first start by sending them to her parents' jobs.
Why is this important to the prosecution's case? It's important because it speaks to the human trafficking due to force and coercion.
On cross-examination, Nash revealed Ventura, who testified while pregnant, had given birth to her third child with husband Alex Fine. "What is the last time you spoke to her?" a defense attorney asked. "After she had the baby yesterday," Nash answered. "Tell her congratulations." Combs has really been eyeing jurors looking for their reaction to all of the testimony of late. Nash, the stylist, is going to finish his cross-examination this morning. And guys, the next witness is a former employee identified only under the pseudonym Mia, who has accused Sean Combs of abuse. Guys?
All right, Aaron, thank you so much. Every day something new. All right, thank you for that. We're going to turn now to the latest close encounter with sharks. Summer hasn't even officially started, and already there have been several incidents. Eva Pilgrim is here with the story. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, Michael. Shark sightings all up and down the East Coast. This is we are heading into peak beach season, and some are finding it's not just more people in the water. This morning, a series of shark encounters up and down the East Coast, putting beachgoers on edge.
The patient is out of the water, conscious breathing.
In North Carolina Wednesday, authorities saying a shark appeared to bite Sean Barton's leg.
I just got done riding a wave, standing up. I felt something bite down on calf shin region, just bite down on my leg, and then let go pretty quickly thereafter. And immediately I thought, I think I just got bit by a shark.
Barton telling his nieces who were swimming nearby to get out of the water as he ran to shore. His brother-in-law treating him at the scene while his sister called 911.
I'm glad that maybe it was me and not any of my nieces or any of the kids playing in the water. And definitely lucky that it wasn't a lot worse than it could have been.
Meanwhile, in Rhode Island, tourists spotting this massive 20-foot shark thought to be a basking shark swimming in Block Island's Great Salt Pond over the holiday weekend. Millions viewing the video, comparing it to a real-life Jaws.
That's a 20-footer. 25.
Experts say while these types of sharks can get up to 40 feet long, they're not dangerous.
This is a big shark. It's the second largest shark in the world. And it is, in fact, a relative of the white shark, but it's feeding on microscopic little plankton. And so from a distance, you might see this huge fin and be terrified, a la Jaws. But in reality, you've got nothing to fear from a big basking shark like that.
But close encounters still causing concern.
You're fine. It's right here. It's right here.
This shark swimming just feet from a woman during a guided tour near Panama City Beach, Florida.
I think she was initially shocked, and you think you're just going in the beach waist deep of water, but they could be anywhere.
The shark appeared to be a black-tip shark, common in this area. Known to swim along the coast in shallow water, reef fish its main source of food.
When you see a shark like that, you really want to stay calm and kind of make sure and gauge what the shark is doing. The shark was just swimming, not erratically, just very slowly, and just cruised on by.
So we asked our expert, why are we having more shark sightings? He said it's twofold. One, these things, the phones, we're able to document and share the sharks that we are seeing, but also, two, some populations of sharks have increased, Robin.
I know, but we're just supposed to stay calm.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, got it.
Most of them aren't trying to eat us.
That's true. Thank you as always, Eva. Coming up, breaking at 8, the new warning about so-called salt bombs in your diet, the foods that could be putting you in a danger zone. And Rebecca is back with an alert about what, an unexpected price hike here?
Yeah, any of you get a message in the mail from your insurance company saying your rates are about to go up? Well, we know people who have, and you might soon be getting one as well. I'll tell you why it's happening and what you can do about it next. Stay with us.
We're back now with an alert about another bill that's about to get higher. Insurance premiums and home and auto coverage are set to go up. Rebecca is back, and you're going to tell us what's going on here and what we can do, perhaps?
Yes, indeed, Robin. I'm the bearer of the good news today.
Okay.
People have been feeling these costs rising for some time. Car insurance last year up 20%, home insurance up double digits with the effects of weather, storm damage, and inflation. But now tariffs could drive additional price increases. Take a look at this. One of our staffers received this notice from his insurance company that stated new auto tariffs could directly impact auto insurance premiums caused by rising parts costs and higher car prices. New York State residents, for example, could face an increase of $489 by the end of the year, with $110 of that expected to be tied directly to those tariffs.
So the tariffs are one reason. What else is causing the rates to go up?
You've seen it because of climate change, because of weather, because these companies, insurance companies, are deciding to move out of areas. We've also seen it in areas beyond California and Florida. You know, we had the wildfires, we've had a lot of issues there. But if you look specifically at the breakdown of those tariffs, that 25% tariff took effect earlier this month. About 6 out of 10 auto replacement parts are imported now from Mexico, Canada, and China. So there's a good chance if you need your car repaired, it's going to cost more. The American Property Casualty Insurance Association estimates that annual personal auto insurance claims costs could rise by anywhere between $23 billion and $45 billion over a 12-month period. And if you're a homeowner, we've already been seeing estimates that tariffs could increase the price of the building of a home by $11,000. So again, that plays out through the whole system when it comes to insurance.
Yeah, just the little things that all the tariffs.
It all adds up.
It all adds up. Okay, what can you do? How can we save home and auto insurance? How can we save? Any tips?
The number one thing you can do is shop around. So it's important to shop around regularly, even every year, even every couple of months. More people are doing this, which is good news. So you don't have to wait until the end of the year. Ask other insurance companies, look for discounts. The bundling, sometimes they give you a promotion if you do more than one. And then look at events. You know, if there's a big event, if there's a big insurance claim, you have to think through, how much of that do I want to claim versus not? You have to do that math, because insurance companies will drive your rates up, generally speaking, when you make a claim, and especially if you make too many of them.
So just think
you
about
have to play that out and look at the actual cost-benefit analysis of, okay, if this is a $200 claim, but my rate could go up $300, is it worth it to make this claim? But of course, you want to be insured. That's the whole point of why you get insurance in the first place.
And I'm really intrigued by, you have to ask a lot with the insurance company. If you ask, you can find,
and you might receive.
Right.
That's it. It really does pay. You call, in so many cases, calling your credit card company, your insurer, even asking when you're about to buy something at the register, can I get a discount?
Oh, I haven't thought about that.
You know what? I'm just going to call you.
One time I did get a 99% discount. I was with my grandparents in Florida, and it was pretty awesome. They thought I had a magic touch. We got it at the counter on a nightgown for my grandma.
99%?
Yeah, and then they wanted me to do all of their every purchase going forward.
I bet.
I'm joining your grandparents. You can handle all my purchases going forward, too.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Blocked. A panel of judges rules that most of President Trump's tariffs are illegal, saying he overstepped his authority by imposing them on China, Mexico, Canada, and other trading partners. The reaction from the White House and financial markets. What comes next? Hugh Jackman's ex breaks her silence on their split. as the couple ends their nearly 30-year marriage. Why she calls it a journey of betrayal, and what she's learned from their divorce.
Billionaire Bieber. Hailey Bieber selling her beauty brand for $1 billion. What she said is next for her.
And we're kicking it with Quinta, as the Abbott Elementary star gets the key to the city of brotherly love. This morning, her message for fans and anyone dreaming big, as she says,
"Good morning, America."
Live from Times Square, it's Thursday. Good morning, America.
Okay, we got a bust on it. Dr. Narula was over there. She was dancing. She was hearing the music. We're just peeling those layers
Another little
back.
cool in the gang. Yeah, a little celebration. Well, in the big celebration, yeah, the doctor, be careful. I'll put that camera on you in a second. All right, good morning, America. Philadelphia, they love Quinta Brunson. We love her as well. We cannot wait to show you that big celebration for her there in the city of brotherly love. And Tori Johnson is back with even more super saving than this morning's Deals and Steals. She has clever solutions to make your life easier, and everything is at least half off.
And we have a GMA health alert about some of your favorite foods that could be, they're called salt bombs that are pushing you way over your daily recommendation of sodium. That is why Dr. Narula is here. She is our chief medical correspondent and a cardiologist, and she's going to break down the study, tell us about the damage too much salt can do.
And audition for Dancing with the Stars.
Yes, she will.
First look at the top stories breaking at 8. We start with President Trump's trade war. Federal court has blocked his tariffs on China and other countries, ruling that the president had overstepped his authority under the law. I want to go back to our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning again, George. And this is a huge blow to the president's economic agenda. That federal panel ruling that the president overstepped his authority and that most of his tariffs against China and other U.S. trading partners are illegal. The move effectively brings the president's trade war to a screeching halt. Back in April, you'll recall the president declared a national emergency to impose his so-called reciprocal tariffs on goods from every country that trades with the U.S. without seeking approval from Congress. But overnight, the federal panel ruled that the law, quote, does not authorize the president to use emergency powers to issue tariffs. The judges appointed by Presidents Reagan, Obama, and Trump is also blocking tariffs Trump imposed on China, Mexico, and Canada to combat fentanyl trafficking because they, quote, do not deal with the threats described in the president's order. The Trump administration is now appealing, the White House rebuking the court, saying in a statement it is not for unelected judges to decide how to properly address a national emergency, adding the administration is committed to using every lever of executive power to address this crisis and restore American greatness. The court has now given the administration 10 days to halt these tariffs, and the Justice Department is now appealing. It sets up a legal fight that could soon reach the Supreme Court. Michael.
All right. Thank you for that, Mary. We're going to turn now to the new report about the salt bombs in your diet. Our chief medical correspondent and dancing machine, Dr. Tara Narula, is here with the details. And Doc, this study, I had to get you with that. The study, it makes a point that all the communities are taking in too much salt. Tell us about the biggest culprits for this.
So this was a study that looked at different races and ethnicities in this country to see where are we getting the most sodium and salt in our diet. And the biggest culprits, well, my favorite food, pizza, is one of them, as well as soups and chickens across the board. When they broke it down based on race and ethnicity, for Asian Americans, a lot of salt is coming from soy, mixtures, sauces, as well as fish and rice. For African Americans, it was chicken patties, nuggets, and tenders. For Caucasians, it was pizza, cold cuts, and cured meats. And then for Mexican Americans, a lot of it was burritos and tacos. So in general, Americans are eating about 3,400 milligrams a day, which is way more than we should be getting. The recommended limit is about 2,300 milligrams, and actually the American Heart Association says we should really strive for 1,500 milligrams. So to give you an idea of what that is, that's not a lot. It's about a little more than a half a teaspoon of salt. And so a lot of this is coming from what we're eating outside the house, not the salt shaker. About 70% is from those processed, packaged, or restaurant-bought foods. And so to give you some idea, a piece of pizza, a slice, has about 600 milligrams of sodium. A chicken nugget pack, that's fast food, about 800 milligrams, and a slice of bacon, 400 milligrams. So this is a lot. It adds up fast. Why is this so bad? Well, we know that salt contributes to high blood pressure, heart failure, kidney disease, stroke, osteoporosis, and even stomach or gastric cancer. water. So really important for us to pay attention.
So if you add salt on top of any food, you're almost certainly going over the limits.
Correct. So you really shouldn't be adding salt at all, because you're getting it from all of these sources that you really don't realize.
And you're a cardiologist, you deal with this every day.
I do.
What can you do to cut back?
You know, well, a lot of it is educating patients. So when I talk to my patients about high blood pressure, in addition to talking about medication, we talk about lifestyle, and salt is one of them. Reading nutrition labels is a really great start to see what am I getting, right? You also want to shop for foods that are maybe frozen or fresh, not those packaged and processed foods. If you buy canned beans or vegetables, rinse them off. That can actually eliminate about 40% of the sodium. When you cook, use things like citrus, vinegar, garlic, onions, or salt substitutes. One thing that a lot of patients don't know, or people, is potassium. So more potassium in your diet. Foods like spinach, cantaloupe, beans, bananas, that can actually lower blood pressure. And then the condiments that we talked about, like soy sauce, so ketchup, pickles, relish, salad dressings, that hides a lot of it. So you want to maybe get that on the side. Yeah. And then, you know, your body will get used to less salt. If you're used to a lot of it, the more you eliminate it, your taste buds will change and you won't need it so much.
And I'm glad you said that, because I have so many friends that just grab the salt straight before they taste it,
right,
and they just throw it on whatever they're eating.
Yeah, and it's just a really great way. Nobody wants to take blood pressure medicine. Yeah. Trust me when I tell my patients they really don't want. This is a great way to start so you don't have to maybe get on the road to medication.
Thank you, Doc. As always.
Coming up on our GMA Morning Menu, Hugh Jackman's ex on their split and why she feels betrayed. Also had Hailey Bieber's billion-dollar deal. We have the latest on a popular skincare brand, Rhode, and the 28-year-old new mom's big dreams.
Plus the news that has Mamma Mia fans saying, please, please, please. We're going to tell you why. And Lori's here with the right fit. Hey, Lori.
Hey, Michael, that's right. Nothing says summer like a great pair of sunglasses. And we've got the right frame for your face coming up right here on GMA.
GMA's Morning Menu is sponsored by Starbucks. A good day starts with better coffee. Start with Starbucks coffee.
Wet morning here in Times Square, but we're back with our GMA cover story. Hugh Jackman's wife, Deborra-Lee files for divorce after nearly 30 years of marriage. Rhiannon Alley here with the story. Good morning, Rhiannon.
Hey, good morning, George. Yeah, breakups are rarely easy, especially when you've been together for decades. Hugh Jackman's ex says she believes God and the universe is always working, and that belief has helped her navigate the breakdown of her marriage.
I do have a mint.
That
yes.
is gold.
Is that gold?
And thank you.
And that was it.
This morning, Hugh Jackman's ex, actor and producer Deborra-Lee is speaking out after she and her husband of nearly 30 years separated. Furness releasing a statement saying, "My heart and compassion goes out to everyone who has traversed the traumatic journey of betrayal," calling the breakup a profound wound that cuts deep. Furness and Jackman got married in 1996 after meeting the year before on the Australian TV show Corelli.
When did you get hurt?
Furness was the star. Jackman new on the scene in his first role out of acting school.
I fell. Did you fall or were you pushed?
The two getting engaged after dating for just 4 months. Jackman's career skyrocketing in 2000 with his breakout role as Wolverine in X-Men.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
He would go on to play the character 9 more times.
Trust me, kid, I'm no hero.
Most recently alongside Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool and Wolverine. Jackman talking about his and Deborah's relationship through the years, previously telling People TV about the moment they met.
She put out her hand and took off her sunglasses and said, "Hi, I'm Deborra-Lee Furness. Nice to meet you." And I remember thinking, I like this girl.
Just another Monday night spending 7 hours getting dressed.
The couple raising 2 children together before separating in 2023. Furness saying that one thing she's learned from the divorce is that none of this is personal. We are all on our individual journeys, and I believe that the relationships in our lives are not random. We are drawn to people. We invite them in order to learn our lessons and to recognize and heal the broken parts of ourselves. I remain grateful.
Their divorce filings indicate the terms are uncontested and will only need a sign-off from a judge. Obviously a tough situation, guys.
A tough situation, and we wish both of them well. Thank you, Rhiannon. Okay, guys, we're going to turn now to beauty mogul Hailey Bieber, who's officially sold her popular beauty brand for $1 billion after just 3 years after launching. But the road to riches for the 28-year-old new mom included some serious health struggles.
This morning, actress and model Hailey Bieber is officially adding mogul to her resume after striking a $1 billion deal to sell her skincare brand Rhode to beauty giant e.l.f. In a post on Instagram, Bieber writing, "I always had big dreams for the company, and the most important thing to me is to keep bringing Rhode to more spaces, places, and faces globally." Adding in an official statement, "From day one, my vision for Rhode has been to make essential skincare and hybrid makeup you can use every day." The fast-growing brand, just 3 years old, founded on Bieber's skincare philosophy of one of everything, really good, made up of innovative products that she says are intended to glaze your skin with goodness. Hailey Bieber building her business while facing numerous health battles, including a mini stroke and a hemorrhaging after giving birth. In reaction to the news, Hailey Bieber's husband, two-time Grammy Award-winning artist Justin Bieber, showing his support by sharing her announcement on his own Instagram. Hailey replying with a simple emoji and heart. And Hailey plans to stay on as Chief Creative Officer and Head of Innovation for the company, hoping to lead the brand into its next phase. It will certainly have much greater reach, and of course, she has huge reach through all of her social media channels.
My girls love it.
And go to my girls, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good for her.
How about some pop news?
I'm wearing it right now. All right, cool. Sounds like a plan, George. We're going to begin pop news today with Wrexham Football Club continuing their hot streak. FX has announced that Welcome to Wrexham, that docuseries that follows the players, fans, and owners, Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, has officially been renewed for season 5. The news coming just a month after the club secured an historic back-to-back-to-back promotion, moving up through the ranks of English football. They are third division champions back in April, taking them one step away from the Premier League, if you can believe it. And FX has also announced the show's spin-off series, Necaxa, which follows Reynolds and McElhenney as they team up with Eva Longoria to transform that storied Mexican football club. That will premiere this summer. And the next episode of season 4 of Welcome to Wrexham airs tonight at 9 Eastern on FX. It streams the next day on Hulu. They just keep winning.
They keep on going.
In every way. And now for some movie news with a musical twist. It has ABBA fans saying, please, please, please. Deadline sitting down with Mamma Mia producer Judy Kramer to get an update on the next chapter of the big screen sensation, and they addressed the possibility of Sabrina Carpenter joining the Mamma Mia 3 cast. Judy did not close the door. She was asked who Sabrina could possibly play, and she replied, quote, she would be a goddess or some relation who would look very much like Meryl Streep. It's been 7 years since Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again hit theaters. Kramer says, we know what we want to do with the next movie, and it will happen. And she says they want to bring everybody back together, including Meryl Streep. Wow. Something to look forward to. Yeah. They have to call it Mama Threa. They must. They have to. I don't even need a producer credit for that, but I would like one. Also this morning, it is game, set, match for Pop News. Your face is not making me happy right now, Michael. You're laughing at me.
That was great.
Okay, thanks. All right, cool.
Impressed.
I'll keep it moving. Tennis news, everyone. U.S. Open. This morning, the U.S. Tennis Association has revealed their theme for the 2025 tournament, and the theme is celebrating 75 years of breaking barriers. The USTA says this theme is all about honoring Althea Gibson, an 11-time Grand Slam champ. She broke the color barrier on the court during the 1950 U.S. National Championships, and this year's U.S. Open artwork was created by Melissa Kobe, who's making history as the first black theme artist for the Open. She's bringing that 3D portrait of Althea Gibson to life, and the U.S. Open hits off on Sunday, August 24th, and tickets go on sale tomorrow at 9 a.m. at usopen.org.
It's time for Deals with Steals, and Tori Johnson is here this morning with clever solutions to make life easier.
We love that, right? We always want to make life easier. So this is Shocks, and perhaps you know these, the open ear earbuds that allow you to stay aware of your surroundings, but also connected to your music, your podcasts, whatever it is that you'd like to listen to. They slip right over your ear just like that. And yep, there you go, little supermodel. Oftentimes with traditional headphones or earbuds, they isolate us from the rest of the world so that we can't can't hear if a car is coming. We can't hear if a baby's crying. We can't hear if somebody needs us. And so if you are in an environment where you need to stay aware, but you also want to enjoy your sounds, these are perfect for you. They also come with a really great charging case, as well as an additional case to keep everything safe and secure. These are phenomenal. 52% off today, plus free shipping.
I love how you got the weight in the back perfect.
It
Doesn't fall out of
feels
your
so
ear.
nice and it doesn't pinch. Exactly. Speaking of weight, okay? You can grab this one here. This is the Adoro Sport weighted vest. It's only 20 pounds.
That's only 20 pounds?
That's 20 pounds. I made them check just to make sure. So we've got 7 weights from 4 up to 30 pounds.
That's what 20 pounds
20 pounds for that one. And so what's fabulous about weighted vests is that you can just level up whether it is a fitness routine or regular routine. So whether you're stepping on the treadmill, going for a walk, even doing chores around the house.
I say stepping on the scale. That wouldn't be good.
No. Do not step on the scale with your weighted vest. But if you're on the treadmill, if you're going for a walk outside, if you're doing just chores around the house, you can add that, muscle toning, muscle strengthening, which is so important, especially for women. Like, you don't have to be an Ironman or a pro athlete to get the benefits of a weighted vest. And again, they start low. 4 to 6 pounds are their smallest, up to 30 pounds. There's guidance on the website about how to choose what's right for you. But it's something that's really phenomenal, especially for women. And again, even when you're going to the grocery store, all slashed in half today from Adoro Sport.
50% off.
You got
Love
it. Okay, Aetrex. Summer sandal season is here. We've got a big assortment of all but one of these is genuine leather. So we've got their leather as well as their faux leather. And these are all about footwear that fits and feels better because it's all designed with very specific arch support and also to help alleviate some of the pain that comes and discomfort that comes from common foot conditions like plantar fasciitis or heel pain. So these are really designed to not only look good for every day, but also to make sure that you are walking in comfort and ease. We also have some men's styles online, everything from Aetrex slashed in half, plus
free shipping.
You like to say that. Okay. Then, to upgrade the shoes that you already own, but to make them more comfortable.
Orthotics.
Yes, these are really incredible from Protalis, and it's the deep heel cup that is the specific kind of magic about these particular insoles, where you can feel the difference in your knees, hips, and back when you put these in your shoes. So you can either use the style to be able to replace with the factory insoles that come with your shoes. We also have these orange ones are designed for wider shoes. So think about boots, work boots, wherever there's more interior space. We've got sizes that accommodate women's 5 to men's 18.
Yeah, I was looking for my size.
There we got them here. All slashed in half.
There we go.
There you go.
All right.
Okay, this is the knock box. This stands for next of kin, to provide peace of mind for when the unexpected happens, and oftentimes families are scrambling to figure out where all the information is. So this is both an organization system as well as an estate planning tool. So think about things like if you needed on the spot birth certificates, passports, house deeds, car documents, pension papers, insurance policies, like the list goes on and on. It would be for most people a struggle to scramble to find those things, if you could even find them at all, because some of them are stored on paper somewhere in our house, some of them are digitally in our email or our computers, some of them are just in our minds, like where is that, safety deposit box, and where did I hide the key for it, and all of those kinds of things. So this system is designed to take all of that information, put it in one system, so people are covered in the event of the unexpected. Everything from knockbox slashed in half. And then finally, let's get down there. This is Samsonite.
Down to the luggage.
Yeah, so give this a spin. So we've got double wheels for easy maneuverability. Whoops.
Okay, that was on me.
I know, sorry. We've got a huge variety. They're lightweight, but really durable. We even have an option where it's a whole office in a bag right down there. Everything from Samsonite slashed in half, plus
free shipping. This is some great luggage, by the way.
Such good luggage.
Yeah, I love it. Tori, you're so great, too. You're partnered with all these companies on these great deals. Get them on our website.
Welcome back to GMA, live from Times Square.
That is the Disney musical Aladdin as it's performed around the world from Broadway to Tokyo. As Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month comes to a close, we're bringing you a special live event featuring performers from those communities from Disney musicals around the world. And it all happens tomorrow right here on GMA.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And now to Abbott Elementary creator and star Quinta Brunson. She got a huge honor in her hometown of Philadelphia, where the hit show takes place, getting the key to the city of brotherly love. And let me tell you, the love didn't stop there. Janae Norman was there for the big day.
I've been looking forward to this all year.
Lila made me realize that if even one kid wants to do this, then maybe it's worth it to keep going. She can be the sun and the moon and the planets.
Abbott Elementary's Quinta Brunson is a testament of what happens to cultivated dreams back in Philadelphia.
Thank you for never allowing anyone to put your Philadelphia grit and resilience in a box.
The hometown where it all started, honoring her in the biggest way.
Congratulations on getting the key to the city.
Thank you.
What does that mean to you, that the work that you have done to spotlight Philly and all of that just being like coming back full circle to you?
It means that what I've done with Abbott, which will always feel very intimate, you know, it'll always just feel like me making a show in my apartment and hoping that someone picks it up. It does mean that it's bigger than I could have ever imagined.
We have to see ourselves in the big picture. Brunson returning to her alma mater, the Andrew Hamilton School, hoping to help plant seeds of success for the next generation, unveiling a new mural titled Blooming Futures.
Murals in this city are life-changing. Seeing one changes how you look at your city, how you look at yourself, how you look at your neighborhood, to help them see themselves, you know, on this big wall and see them as beautifully as that mural depicts them.
The vibrant work, featuring actual students and teachers, is a partnership with Mural Arts, the nation's largest public art program that aims to beautify, inspire, and empower. A program Brunson herself was once a part of.
These murals are about legacy, and we're excited to work with you all to figure out what represents legacy for Abbott Elementary.
The program featured on season 2 of Abbott.
I think growing up in a city like Philly, you start to learn that many people don't see past today. And if you can't see a future, a tomorrow at the very least, that has an effect on how you live your life. You have to be able to think there's something to wake up for tomorrow.
And the Emmy goes to Quinta Brunson, Abbott Elementary.
Now a 2-time Emmy winner and the first Black woman to win Best Actress in a network comedy in over 40 years, Brunson says her success was far from luck.
You said that yourself from years ago, to see where you are now, you would say, exactly, period. This is what you worked for.
Very true.
What would you say to someone who is going through that process and still trying to get to their exactly period point?
I think you just look at those tough days as part of the process. That tough day will come in handy later for storytelling or whatever it is you want to do. And so if you're really supposed to do it, you'll find your place in it. And your place may not be what you expected.
For Good Morning America, Janae Norman, ABC News, New York.
Well, Quinta's definitely found her place in it, which is on top. I love it. She's great. All right, Rebecca, what you got?
She did indeed. Thanks, Michael. Okay, we're going to turn now to a look at castor oil. The home remedy staple is back in the spotlight thanks to TikTok, with videos racking up 400 million views. People claim it can detox your organs, regrow your hair, and even naturally induce labor. Our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Tara Narula, is back to break down if castor oil is worth the hype. Great to see you again, Dr. Dancing Queen. Okay, break this down for us. Is this real? What can it actually do?
Well, castor oil is a vegetable oil that's derived from the castor plant, the beans and seeds. It's been used for thousands of years. In fact, supposedly Cleopatra used it to brighten her eyes, so it goes all the way back to ancient Egypt. We do find it in cosmetics and other products, but the only FDA-approved indication for it is as a stimulant laxative for those individuals who may have constipation. You can use it as a one-time dose, 15 to 60 milliliters. It works within a few hours. It's definitely not a first-line treatment for constipation, and you shouldn't use it long-term. term. And if you overdo it in terms of ingesting it, you can actually end up with chest pain, shortness of breath, nausea, diarrhea, dizziness.
Every time you see one of these easy fixes with household products on TikTok, you really want it to work, or at least I do. I feel that way. Is it actually, I mean, you mentioned Cleopatra.
Right.
Is it really a replacement for eye patches? Is it going to induce labor?
Yeah, well, my 12-year-old this morning told me she heard it grows hair from TikTok.
Yeah.
And so let me tell you what I told her, which is you cannot believe everything you see on TikTok. And a lot of what you're seeing is anecdotal, but not based in really good scientific evidence. So what is based on evidence? Well, we do know that it does have some antibacterial properties, also maybe some anti-inflammatory properties, and it is moisturizing because it's an oil. That being said, there's no data to really support its use as packs. A lot of people on TikTok use it as packs. Also, no data to support hair growth or eyelash growth. In fact, you have to be careful because if it does get in your eyes, it can cause damage to the cornea, possible infection. If you use it on your skin as a moisturizing agent, it may make your hair shinier or your face a little brighter. But if you use too much because it's so thick, it can clog your pores and lead to acne. And some people can actually develop a contact dermatitis or an allergic reaction from it. And as far as the question about labor, so actually it can potentially induce labor and lead to contractions. So the recommendation is that pregnant women should not be using castor oil for that very reason.
So your 12-year-old daughter, would you let her use it? And how would you tell her to incorporate it if she did?
Right. I mean, listen, what the dermatologists say is that maybe you can use it on your lips if your lips are a little bit chapped, and lightly on your hair or your skin if you needed to, but definitely staying away from the eyes. But the bottom line is you should always talk to your doctor. And if you're using it for the FDA-approved indication as a laxative, that's probably the way to go.
Dr. Darula, as always, you've got all the answers. Thank you. Coming up here, Lori B is back with the right fit, the best styles of sunglasses for different face shapes.
Welcome back. We have some good news for fans of Duck Dynasty. The Robertsons are back with a new series. It's called Duck Dynasty: The Revival. It centers on Willie and Corey Robertson as they navigate life with their growing family. It premieres this Sunday at 9 Eastern and Pacific on A&E. Now we go to the Right Fit Sunglasses edition. Our GMA lifestyle contributor Lori Bergamato is here with tips to help us find the perfect shades for the shape of your face. And you can shop for all of these sunglasses on our website. Lori, I started off by wondering, wait, what face shape do I have? I think a lot of people wonder that, but then also, what do we look for sunglasses?
Right. Well, so to answer your first question, first of all, you have a beautiful face, Ginger Z.
I don't even know what shape it is.
I would say that you're probably heart shape. Or round. That would be my guess. But if you guys don't know, or if at home you don't know, you can easily pop into an optician's office and find out. You can also, there are certain filters on different social media platforms that you can look at, and it will tell you what your face shape is.
It also changes with age. But anyway.
Well, that's a whole different
and pregnancy and a few other things.
Exactly.
Okay, so first up we have these, and they're for a round face?
Yes, so we actually spoke to an optician. Her name is Chelsea Langton, and she gave me great tips for all of these. You can go out
They're
and
cute.
Pick them up, play with them. And what she said is no matter what your face shape is, there are two things that really
I like
matter.
those on you,
They look
Ginger.
great. So maybe you do have a round face, but there are two things that are really important. One, your pupil should be centered in the middle of the lens, and you should be able to see at least half of your eyebrow, which we can see here on Ginger. You never want to completely cover it. Now that we got that out of the way, if you do have a round face, what you're trying to do is add some sculptural effect. You're trying to lift your cheekbones. So you should go for things that have sharp corners, more geometric lines, bold, thick frames, which is part of the reason we chose this Cabana pair from J. Crew. And everything you're seeing today, ladies, everything's on sale, and everything is under $60. So really good deals on all of that. But what we loved about these, it has that slight cat eye lift. And that really is gonna just give you higher cheekbones. It's gonna add a little bit of like a chiseled look to a round face. So we loved these. And she said, if you have a round face, the key is avoiding tiny frames. Width is very important.
No filler
You need
needed.
to keep those, Ginger.
I
They
know.
look great on you.
Great.
All right.
Okay.
So oval face?
Oval face. So if you have an oval face shape, which is the most common face shape, Congratulations, you're in luck. Because the good news, when we spoke to Chelsea, she said that every frame looks good on. Those look really good on you. Look at those. And you definitely have an oval face shape, so those really work for you. Are we sure about that? I think you really do. So these are from Diff, and if you have an oval face shape, the key is keeping that balance because your face is so symmetrical. You want to keep that balance, and one of the ways that you are able to do that is you want to, again, go for width. So you're going to choose wider frames, and that's going to really help balance it out. This is the Diff Indie. Guys, Diff is such a great company. I don't know if you know this, but every pair of Diff sunglasses you buy, they give eye care or a pair of glasses to someone in need. So it's a really great company, and they're so fun. There's so many fun shades. You can get these in prescription if you need them. Like I'm
you need those
myself.
too, Ginger. See, and these feel tight. I could like run in them, I feel like.
Ooh,
like
very stylish, right? This actually goes really well with your outfit too. And they come in such fun frames.
I like these.
Okay, so now we're moving on to our next face shape, which is the heart-shaped face.
Oh, okay.
So I always think of like Reese Witherspoon as like the poster girl for a heart-shaped face,
makes
right?
sense, yes.
So in order to balance that, you want to go for oval, round. You can even do semi-rimless with this. We focus on rounded frames because they really soften, like if you have like a wider forehead. But ladies, these look really good on you as
really
well.
like
And,
these.
everything's really working.
These are my favorites so far on me.
Okay, so this is from Quinta, and these are the Avery. We love these because also, even though they're only $50, what's really cool about these is they have those flexible nose pads. And that's another
They're
thing.
light.
Yes, another thing that our expert told us is that if you can, because sometimes they're more expensive, but if you can find the flexible nose pads, that's gonna help make you have a more customized fit than just the acetate. So that's a really good thing to look for. And at $50, those are the thing to get. So we love those.
Square.
So we're gonna move on to square. And this you may have also seen, if you're an extremely online person, everything is about that oval face shape. So square draws in angular features. They're really gonna pop if you introduce some curves
That looks great on
into
you.
the frame. And the oval frames here are a winner. We found these at Nordstrom. They're from Les Specs. They have that retro vibe. So cool. They come in so many different colors. And I wanna get to this last one. Even though you two were so great and everything looked good on you, this is the universal pick round frame. So no matter what your face shape, these will look good on you. From Amazon, these are called Sojos. You guys, they're on sale right now for just over $12. These look good on everybody. I'm gonna put a pair on as well.
Please. Let's do that.
Enjoy.
All right, and you can shop for all of these sunglasses, the ones on our face, as well as all the rest on GoodMorningAmerica.com. And coming up, two of the stars of the new comedy Adults are here. Jack Innanen and Malik Elisal are joining us live. There they are. We'll get them some sunglasses.
We are back with two stars who've excited Michael Starahan. They are the stars of the new comedy series Adult, which the New York Times calls Friends for a New Generation. It follows a group of 20-somethings living together and figuring out their lives. Malik Elisal, Jack Innanen here to tell us about it. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you for having us.
You have to answer Michael's question later.
Yes.
Jack, tell us about the show.
It's a hilarious comedy about 5 20-somethings figuring out what that means to be in your 20s, all living together in Samir's parents' house out in Queens.
Yes. Yeah. And Malik, the show like taps into when you were, the time of your life when your friends are your family. So what did you all do to make that connection?
Man, we got to go out to Toronto a little early. This is where we filmed at, and we were all like staying in the same apartment building. And I just happened to have like a big room, so everybody would just kind of come up to my room every single night, and we'd like get room service and kind of like reenact. Like we got to know each other basically. We're basically like double dutched each other into each other's lives.
Yeah.
We're like just tell us everything about everybody.
Amitha at one point said, she said, everyone go around and say something, tell us a secret that no one else has, that you haven't told anyone else before, and we did. I think that was like trauma bond off the
trauma bond.
Big trust moment right there.
We all are our brother's keepers.
Yes, yeah, 100%.
Let's take a look at a clip.
Oh my God, hi.
Hi.
Not quite the outfit we discussed.
My dad's suit. You said dress up.
Yeah, like a normal guy, not like you run Gotham City.
You look like a little rascal, dude.
You look like a little rascal. You look amazing.
You look incredible.
Hey, Paul Baker, can you help me with the table?
You look so good.
Thanks.
Yeah. See, we see all this bonding right here, but tell me about this rap battle.
Ooh.
Oh, it's not like between us.
It was not between us. This was the rap beef, the infamous Drake Kendrick beef.
okay.
Happened while we were shooting the pilot, and that was intense.
It colored the pilot. Like it definitely like added.
How did that color the pilot?
It just kind of became a part of, like, we just couldn't stop talking about it.
We were both very big fans, and it was happening while we were shooting, and so we would like be in the middle of a take, and it was that night when Family Matters drops, and then we had to leave a take to go listen in the bathroom, and no one else cared.
So who's right, Kendrick or Drake?
Ooh. Drake. I mean,
that was quick.
Well, we're both from Canada, so we had to like represent.
We did. I have to represent. Yeah. I love Drake.
Yeah,
but
I love Drake too. Listen,
me too. I'm guilty.
I'm staying out of it.
It's better to stay out of it, George. Not worth it.
All right, whatever.
But Malik, we also hear that Jack. You like to eat. Jack likes to eat on set. He's hungry.
Oh, yeah.
He's always trying to eat on set, but the problem is if you eat in one take, you have to eat in like 30 takes after that, right?
Yes.
So he shows up hungry to set, and he doesn't think about that if he takes one bite of this food, that it's over with.
I always thought about that watching Big Bang Theory many years ago. They're always eating something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how can you possibly do that?
Well, that's my dream scenario. My issue was that they would tell me not. They're like, if you take a bite, you're gonna have to take a bite every scene. I'm like, that's what I'm going for. Like, I want to eat this burrito, please.
I stopped this guy. That was our beef between each other. That I wasn't letting him eat beef. 30 times in a row.
But he liked to do impressions on set.
Oh,
what I heard.
Yeah, you get loopy.
Of who? Who do you like to?
I would do like Tony Soprano, like just to stay awake basically in sets. So I would do like one take just as Samir, and then I would like do another one as Tony. So I'd be
Give
like,
us one as Tony.
Well, I'd be like, okay, there's like one line in the pilot where it's like, I always thought the world was going to be waiting for me, and instead everybody's like annoyed that I'm here. And then I'd be like, all right, I gotta get loose. I'm like, I always thought the world was going to be waiting for me. Instead, everyone's annoyed that I'm here.
Yes.
I can't believe they did that. I can't believe they did that.
Oh,
Can
man.
you goad him into another one?
This is all him.
Well, he's so many good ones. A good one is your Shia LaBeouf. You have it down so well.
Well, yeah, it's Shia when he's he's coming clean. He's new. He's brand new. Yeah,
You totally got to Brad right there. Thank you guys for coming in.
I'll tell you what. You got to answer my question about last night.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay? I'm so all over this. All episodes of FX's Adults are streaming now on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+. Thank you both. We got the funny man. We'll be right back.
That was great. It's a fun day today, wasn't it?
Great.
Fun.
Have a great one, everyone.
Be well.